Hello, this is Aaron Amin of SG Gaming Info, and welcome to my video review of Bandai Namco Entertainment's Tales of Berseria for the PlayStation 4. Tales of Berseria is the latest entry in Bandai Namco Entertainment's popular Tales of series. And well, Tales of Berseria is one of the strongest games in the series to date, as the game offers the darkest story I've seen in the Tales of game series, with the game focusing on revenge and pitting emotion against reason. Tales of Berseria is also a prequel to the last Tales of game, Tales of Zestiria. Diving straight into the story, the main character, Velvet, lived a quiet life with her sick brother, Laphicet. But one scarlet night, her quiet life was destroyed, as Artorias, Velvet's brother-in-law, sacrifices Laphicet to the four Empyreans in order to save the world from demons and the demon blight that creates them. The sacrifice also sees Velvet change, with the Empyrean turning her into a Therian and brandishing her with a demon arm that consumes all living creatures. With Velvet now a Therian and her quiet life destroyed, Velvet vows she will kill Artorias, the man the world now hails as a savior. Velvet works with pirates, demons, Malachim, exorcists, and witches to reach her goal of killing the now crowned shepherd Artorias. However, as the story progresses, the goal of vengeance changes, as Velvet and her crew discover that the very nature of what it means to be human is under attack, as Artorias wishes to eliminate emotion and create a world where only reason exists. To stop Artorias' plan, Velvet needs to defeat Innominat, the fifth Empyrean. But fighting Innominat isn't without risk, as the challenges hurt Velvet on both a physical and emotional level. The story also explores the suppression of a race of spirits called the Malachim and the attempt to find and save Therians like Velvet. Tales of Berseria offers a story that leaves you asking what it means to be human. And when you lose someone you love, do you lash out against the world, letting your emotions run wild, or do you stand back and look at the reason for the action? Now, while the story is strong, what about the characters? Honestly, Tales of Berseria has some of the best characters I've encountered in a video game. Each character is well fleshed out, with their flaws, strengths, and well, humanity all explored. In terms of characters, we have Velvet, a Therian who is out for revenge, but also constantly fighting her emotions. Magilu, a self-styled witch who hides her face behind a wall of jokes and mischief. Rokaru, a demon swordsman who lives and dies by his blade. Malak Laphicet, a Moloch that Velvet saved and showed him the world and all its wonders. Aizen, a pirate Malak who lives by a pirate creed and suffers from the Reaper's curse, which plagues him and everyone around him with bad luck. Eleanor, an exorcist praetor who abandoned the order to follow Velvet in search of the truth. And finally, Artorias, a man who saved the world but is burdened with despair. As you can tell from those short descriptions, Tales of Berseria has a cast of complicated characters that players get to see struggle, fall, and grow throughout the game. It isn't very often I find myself getting attached to multiple characters, but I just felt attached to each character in the game as their emotions felt real, not some contrivance created to add tension to a scene. Now let's move on to the four-person combat, which is arguably the weakest part of the game. I say weakest because despite it being easy to use, there is no depth to it, and this is despite the fact that the combat has multiple layers. Combat in Tales of Berseria is built around the soul gauge system, where you need to press any of the face buttons on the controller to perform an array of combo attacks, although the length of your combo is determined by the amount of souls your character holds. To increase your soul capacity, you need to inflict status ailments or kill enemies, although after each battle, your soul count goes back to 3. The soul gauge system also lays the groundwork for the break souls and blast gauge, Break Souls allows you to reduce your soul capacity by 1 in order to do additional damage and perform attacks that ignore combo limits. However, you need at least 3 souls to activate it. The blast gauge is very much your ultimate attack, otherwise known as a mystic art. To activate this, you need to fill your blast gauge at least 3 times over, but to fill up the gauge, you need to use Break Souls. Tales of Berseria's combat can be both fun and dull, depending on how a fight is going. If you are lucky and constantly land attacks that give you souls, you can spend a large chunk of the fight spamming Break Souls. However, if you are unlucky and enemies cause you to lose soul capacity, the fight is a battle of charging up your soul capacity, throwing a few punches, and charging again in a very stop-start manner. So besides combat, story, and characters, what else does Tales of Berseria offer? Well, like previous Tales of games, we have skits and side quests. Skits provide both character information and comedic relief to the player. Side quests give you a reason to explore the world, and by the way, I highly recommend collecting all the Norman dolls as they unlock an XP rich boss battle. The game also offers side activities that run in tandem with your progression. These activities are cooking, expedition, and cat spirits. Cooking is straightforward. You collect the ingredients needed and cook the food. However, you can choose to auto cook, which means when you eat your food, you will automatically cook more of the same food. Expedition involves you sending a scout ship out to explore the world. This scout ship allows you to obtain food for cooking, cooking recipes, treasure, and fashion items. Finally, cat spirits are glowing orbs that you can collect while exploring the world. If you gather enough, you can go to a cat's chest and open it, and if you are lucky enough, you will be rewarded with a fashion item. Speaking of fashion, fashion is the ability to change the appearance of your character via attachments or costumes. Wearing fashion items is a nice if not odd option, although it is funny when you go into a serious scene and one of your characters is wearing a Norman suit. Tales of Berseria also offers mini-games. These include bursting all the balloons within a certain amount of time, doing as much damage as possible within a certain amount of time, and fishing. The rewards for taking part in mini-games are Tales coins, which you can use to buy fashion items, and material. Speaking of material, these are used to enhance your character's weapons and armor. Enhancement can only be done at a shop, which also allows you to dismantle old equipment for material. Enhanced items provide your character with bonuses, which are displayed under the item in the description box. Enhanced items also help you level up your relationship with shops. Leveling up your relationship with shops means greater discounts and items. In terms of technical issues with the game, the only major issue of note is poor lip syncing during in-game cutscenes. Graphically, Tales of Berseria runs at 60 FPS, with a smooth transition between combat and exploration. In terms of audio, the music is captivating, with the game's instrumental-focused tracks helping elevate the emotions the game is attempting to convey at the time. So, in conclusion, Tales of Berseria is the darkest and most emotion-driven Tales of game to date. The game also explores humanity and the struggle between reason and emotion. With that said, I give Tales of Berseria a score of 9 out of 10, with the pros being emotional story, well developed and engaging characters, and numerous side activities. The game's con is the combat is weak. Thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. For more gaming information, please visit sggaminginfo.com, and don't forget to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/sggaminginfo, and follow us on Twitter at sggaminginfo.